Hello, welcome back. Thank you for all those that joined me yesterday at the launch, our first episode of Dear Source, Your Ascendancy Hotline. And today we're back for episode 2 of Dear Source. And today we're going to tackle the topic of fear. And I could not be more excited to have all of you here. So, for those of you that have joined, I am so excited to have you. Welcome. Thank you for all your questions. Thank you for all your love and support. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Share, because it's so, I think this is such a vital message as we transcend on this planet of how do we really come together as a human race, and how do we work together and really understand that we are here to help each other elevate on our journey and on our path as a human collective. Like, why? I often get asked the question, and I pose the question, like, why did we incarnate? Why do we come into the earth school? Probably the hardest in known is to come in here and to essentially drop in and forget everything that we've learned and known and go on this journey. And we ask to come in here. We ask to be a part of this human collective and for our souls to learn and to grow. And from the perspective I have, the only reason why we incarnate here is to become the highest expression of ourselves, to really articulate in this world the divine, unique soul blueprint that each one of us holds. Each one of us has a unique soul frequency that is solely ours. It's just like a fingerprint. There's no two fingerprints alike. And just like us as individuals, there's no two individuals alike. And each one of us has a unique, beautiful perspective and purpose to be sharing with this world to help the whole of the human race to evolve, to elevate, and to grow, and to shift, and to change. And when we come in here, we are essentially remembering and or unlearning a lot of things that go on. I find this as I've gone on this journey, and to also be a mom, it's so interesting. I don't know another word choice around, I think, where did my daughter or my son learn that? Like, did I embed that? Did I teach them that? And there's stuff that's happened in my life recently where it's like I really want to shake them, but I have to remember that they contracted in here with their own soul's learning, and that God has them divinely held in their own unique space and their own unique learning. And it's really helped me realize that, to be human is also to be divine, and that each one of our human experiences is a divine experience. And it's designed for us to really come back to ourselves. And I had to really learn how to take out all of my egoic, perceived, charged energy around what I thought was good or bad. Again, that's your ego that wants to assign that. Everything is God, and everything is neutral, and everything is loving. Everything is always happening for our highest good, even if in the moment we cannot see that. And that's why we came in here, is for all the learnings, for all the lessons, and that relationships that we engage in, whether it's me as a mom, me as a daughter, me as a sister, me as a friend, me as a lover, whatever my role or relationship is with somebody, is that everyone in the relationship is serving everyone else in that relationship by being the reflection of what they need at that moment to teach them more about who they are. So every person that we encounter is a teacher. Every person that we engage and interact with is a teacher. And I say this often, and I know it to be true, is my children are two of my greatest teachers, and they were gifted to me as souls for that exact purpose, and me to them, and as siblings, them to each other. And sometimes we don't always see it, but I can really look and see within myself what they're trying to gift back to me. And hopefully I'm reflecting back to them what they need to be learning about themselves, and to just hold space. We are here to, our greatest job is just to be ourselves and to become the most authentic version of ourselves. And that doesn't mean being hurtful or mean or saying whatever we think. It means, am I truly in the highest vibrational state that my soul incarnated here to be? Am I expressing that? Because on that level of vibration, it's coming through on the frequency of unconditional love. And this journey is so intense. And part of the intense learning that we go through, along with, I think, some of the insanity that is also the world in which we live, that we've created, that's maybe societal constructs or the way things always are. And when we look at the things that we attach or assign meaning to, or how we even learn certain things, they're not necessarily in alignment with divine law and in divine right order. And I think part of the evolution that we're on here on this planet is, can we operate from the universal laws that essentially govern the way that the universe works? And really, we have one law that we are here to honor, and that is to love one another as we love ourselves. That there's only one of us here. There's one collective energy, which is God, source of the universe, or divine. And in that energy, we're all emanations of the Creator himself. And we are whole and complete. I mean, I know I say this often, and I want everybody to put it on repeat for themselves, is our DNA spells God eternal within the body. We are God made manifest on this earth, and God is all that is, and we are all that is, and we are an emanation of that. And so for us to remember that and to express that and to articulate that into the world is why we incarnate here, is to remember that, to understand that we are equally human and we are equally divine, and that we can transcend the ego. We can come to a space of oneness, of wholeness with our Creator and Source, and to share that into the world. Our own unique spark, our own unique blueprint, that each one of us is needed here on this planet for that divine purpose and that divine reason. And so one of the things that we are here to transcend, that is a belief of the ego, is really the energy of lack and fear. And the other one I would say is attachment. But what I really see prevalent in our collective human psyche is the energy of not enoughness, like just not feeling worthy. I'm not enough. I'm lacking in something. And then what we also do in that state of not enoughness or lack, we've also created really weird constructs within ourselves to try to complete that wholeness and oneness when we already are all that. So, for an example, when we think of our society, it's like, well, I'll feel successful when I have X number of dollars in my bank account, or I'll feel successful in this society if I have this certain job title, or I'll feel worthy if I'm this and that. Whatever works for you. I mean, I know as a human being on this planet, I'm working through these constructs. And as you start to remember your divinity of you are whole and complete, you are all that is, you are the infinite abundance, money actually doesn't fulfill that. Money is a product that was designed for us to exchange goods and services. And some people say money has energy. I don't necessarily know if I've arrived that money is energy. I think it's one of the wacky tools that we've created on planet Earth to exchange stuff that we have somehow allowed our ego to deem, if we have this, then you're more worthy than somebody else that doesn't have this. And that's just simply not true. We were not designed as an infinite being to be worried about finite things to define us or to fill us up. And in this path or on this journey, it's so pronounced that almost everything that we see on this earth is marketed or talks to how we are lacking, like we are not good enough. And the only thing that's speaking to is our ego. It's not speaking to your higher self, to the truest essence of you, because the truest essence of you is whole and complete and all that is and all that ever will be, and is an emanation of God, source, the universe, divine. Like that's the truth of who you are. And when I think about everything that we do, always starts from a space of lack. I think of, I could probably sit here and go on and on and on about everything that we market to is around people not being enough. Whether it's like a woman and every beauty product out there, the whole beauty industry would cease to exist if we all fell deeply in love with ourselves and the perfection that we are, and that our body is the temple for God itself. Our DNA tells us that we are God eternal within the body. My body is a temple for God. It is perfect, it's whole, it's complete. Everything within my body is so perfectly organized and designed that it actually has more intelligence about what to do. There's more going on within my body right in this singular moment to make my lungs breathe air, my heart beat, my fingers move, my eyes blink, you name it. And every cell's reproducing itself and making itself regenerated and whole and new. And it knows exactly what it's supposed to be doing. And just like that, could we love our body and everything, you guys? Like I look at so many things out there and I've done them myself, like where it's like the choice point of which I'm acting from is from a state of not enoughness, a state of lack, a state of fear, a state of desiring some type of outcome. And if I have that outcome, I'm going to be just fine. That'll make me happy. And if you watch or notice people, like they could have billions of dollars and be intrinsically unhappy. They could still not have enough because where their internal state of being is, I'm not enough. When the truth is we are a creation of God. We are God eternal within the body. We are all that is. That's the truth. And everything that our ego loves is to keep us in a state of lack, of fear, and attachment to an outcome. That is what our ego wants. And the way we're going to break our ego, the way we're going to overcome is to understand, no, I'm already all of those things. And you have done your job to keep me safe. And I actually am good. I'm good. Thank you, ego. You have served your purpose. You're doing your purpose here on this earth for me at this time, but my higher self is truly in control, and I'm safe and I'm whole and complete, and I have everything that I need right in this moment. There's nothing that I'm lacking. And so when I think about what state or choice are we making decisions from? And we're here to remember our wholeness and our divinity and our perfection and our uniqueness and all the beautiful things that make us who we are. But I realized, and it's taken me a long time to realize this, and I have to still notice it every day, is almost everything that I've ever chosen in my life came from a space of not enoughness. And when you operate of a space of not good enough, feeling inadequate, lack, the reality is all the things that I attached to or tried all just brought me back to another state of lack. It didn't fulfill me. You know, I could sit here and tell you probably years and years and years and years and years and years of examples of all these decisions I made of thinking that that was going to make something better. And the reality is when I don't see my divinity, God has to offer me lessons to help me remember that. And we have to understand, like, what if all the billions of dollars we went and spent in the beauty industry got spent in ways that up-leveled humanity in a new ways, because we weren't coming from a space of inadequacy. You know, we are perfect, we are divine, we are whole. And everything has to come into right relationship. We have to be in right relationship with it the way that God wants us to be in relationship with it, in order for it to really transform or serve who we truly are. And so in this, there is such an opportunity for us to step into our divinity and to remember who we are and to make choices from a place of wholeness. Like now, because for so long, I couldn't figure out, like, why isn't this working? Why am I just coming back to this spot? And I had to really ask myself and really understand, what was the moment, the energetic point you were at in that moment that you were making that decision, whether it was to buy something, whether it was to do something, whatever that is, it's like, if I'm in a state of lack, what now pause and ask myself, what do I think that I'm lacking? Or what is this maybe purchase or whatever I'm going to be doing really going to solve when it comes to my state of beingness? And in that observation, I've started to make very different choices in my life because I don't think that something's going to make something better. I'm not attaching to something from a point of lack. And it's everywhere. I mean, we do it with almost everything in our lives. I've done it with working out. Like, okay, if I just get up, if I go to the gym, if I work out this hard, if I don't eat any chocolate M&Ms, I'm going to have six-pack ab and I'm going to attract this really hot guy. And that's just going to make my life so much better. And it's like, none of that is sustainable. Like, there is no definition of a perfect body. Like, who deems what's beautiful? Our crazy society that's developed some really weird constructs around what we think beauty is. Like, really think about like the things that it's like you start with something. It's like becoming obsessed with any one thing. You should ask yourself, what is the end goal of what this is serving? What is this filling me up and reminding me of the divinity of who I am? And maybe it is. And maybe that's what your soul is meant to serve. And if it's not, if you're doing it because you don't feel good enough, or if I only have this, then this will make it better, that's your answer then too. And we're here as a human species. We are a triune being. We are a body, we have our mind, and we are our soul. And so when we think about healing as a human collective and as each individual, we have to heal everything on a body, mind, and soul level. There is no one thing that any one of us is going to do that's going to fix anything. It's a combination of everything that we are here to do. It's about how do I heal that within my body? How do I honor that within my body? Because my body is the vessel that houses my soul. It's what makes me human. It's what grounds me on this planet. So what are things that I do for my body that honor my soul and honor God? Whether it's the food that we intake, whether it's the movement that we participate in, and not from a space of I'm not good enough, but from a space of complete honoring and wholeness of who we are as human beings. How do we then honor our mind? What are healthy things we do to honor our mind and to put our mind in the right space and to have thoughts that honor God and that aren't our ego that's like running crazy telling us like, oh my God, you're right. I'm in fear. Okay. Yeah. I better get to the gym this afternoon. Yeah. Like that'll make me feel so much better. Like, again, like how do you quiet our mind to make it still and quiet? And through practices, it can be done. Some of the work I've been engaged within recently for myself personally is regulating my nervous system. That's honoring our body. But I have to do that with meditation and other practices that honor my mind. What are the thoughts that are going on? And then couple that with the spiritual work that also needs to be done. We need all three when we think about how do I really work on myself, because we are equally divine and we're equally human. So we have to do the soul work and we've got to do the human work. And then our mind is that bridge between bringing that into the physical space. And so we have to do work on all parts of it. There's not like, okay, go off and meditate and meditate and meditate and meditate. And here's all the things you can say and do. And trust me, guys, I have spent so many years doing that stuff. And then it's like, okay, well, that kind of fixes a little bit of that, but it's not the answer to everything because I'm not bringing it all together. We have to bring it all together. We have to honor our body, and how do we stay grounded in our body and love our human experience so we're not disassociating from our body. We need to honor our mind and what our mind's role and responsibility is in being the bridge between our humanness and our divinity. And we also have to do our spiritual work. You can't just do spiritual work and think like it's going to solve these other two either. Like, we've got to bring it all together. And so there's some really exciting work that I'm working on in partnership with other incredible human beings of how do we really start to service humanity on the whole, and to create a space where as human beings you can truly heal. It's not about anybody finding answers. It's not about somebody holds the answers and you do not. It's about giving you space to engage and interact with and work with other human beings to go on that healing journey on all levels of your beingness, body, mind, and soul. And so as we go on this journey, it's about you discovering that you hold the answers within yourself. No one holds the answers but you. You are the infinite wisdom of the universe. You have all the answers that you are seeking within you. And when you work with people that reflect back to you your wholeness, your divinity, the fact that they aren't going, I have the answer and you don't, and now you're not in right relationship with them because you've attached to them out of lack, not out of like, I need a community. We are here to be in relationship with each other. The only way we learn as a human race is through human relationship. So we need each other to grow, but there is no one person that knows any more than you. We are each other's greatest teachers. And for any one of us to give anybody else any type of power, like, oh, you hold all the answers. Oh, you're this celebrity. Oh, you're this. Oh, you're that. None of that matters. Who you want to find when you think about personal coaching, people that you want to work with, you want to find somebody that resonates with the core of your essence, the core of your soul, and it is there to activate in you into the remembrance of your highest level. And so there's going to be lots more to come because I feel so called to transform the whole of the coaching industry, of quite honestly all the industries, to be non-egoic, to be in service to the greater whole of humanity, to transform and transcend and help people activate into the highest expressions of themselves. Because we are the magic. We are the most incredible species ever known. We are the Harry Potters of our own lives. We all have gifts beyond what we even know and can imagine as a human being. And we're here to be and to remember that we are here to elevate the collective of the human race. And as we elevate and as we grow and as we transcend, we're going to go to higher dimensions. We're going to know what peace on earth looks like. We're going to know what heaven on earth feels like, because we're all helping articulate that. And so if you feel called to reach out, I just offer myself as a space for people to find the highest versions of themselves and to step into that remembrance and that divinity. And so I want to continue to engage you guys. I want you to invite yourself into this conversation. We're going to continue to dive into how we elevate as a human collective together. And I send you guys off with so much love and light today. I want you to continue to engage in this conversation and dialogue with me, and to know that your questions are also teachers for me. And so this is very much a reciprocal process. So until tomorrow, I want to send you off with all the love and light that I can give to you, and continue to engage, continue to reach out. Please like, share, and subscribe, and come back tomorrow for another episode of Dear Source, your Ascendancy Hotline.